let everyone know they're being recorded.
By attending this meeting, you consent to being recorded.
You're recorded. All right.
That's not how consent works, friend. Sorry.
A joker.
It's pretty good.
We could edit.
All right. Okay. So, welcome. What? Okay. Sorry. It's just all the reactions just popped up. I just lost it.
Oh.
It was like, choose your reactions. Oh. All right. Welcome. We're Rust and Ruin. It's been a long time, but we're back. So, the recap that I have is not great. I mean, it's a recap, and I mean, it is one. So, we'll probably be. I might let them know about some things as we go along, if they've forgotten, which could be the case, because it's been a while. It's been a while. So, here, we'll just go around and introduce yourself. What's your character's name? What do they look like? Stuff like that. Let's Nick.
All right. My name is Nicholas Ilderton. My character's name is Octavius Moraine, formerly known as Ock to the party. Ock is kind of a straggly character, ranger, human variant, but has always not been a fan or not been around the spotlight, kind of been shunned a little bit. So lives kind of on the outskirts, or lived on the outskirts of his kind of village, and he has a companion that he uses as a mount, a lock lion. And yeah, he's kind of recently joined the party, invited them into his kind of camp, and now I think they're going on an adventure of some sort, which we will kind of delve into in this session tonight, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah, that's Octavius.
All right. Yeah. Woo. Go Cam.
All right, I'm Cam. My character is Silcey. He is he's a forest gnome cleric. He's pretty young for a cleric, and maybe a little naive. He worships the temple of Myaliki, and he cares a lot about his friends, and but he's a really good heart, but also finds his way into a lot of mischief. So.
All right.
Woo!
Woo.
I guess that leaves me, huh?
Laura.
Yeah, so I'm Laura. I play Valmaia, not the Doris in this. And she's a cute little tiefling with a really dark and haunting past that she just refuses to acknowledge or open up about. So she is quite literally fighting demons, and most people don't have no idea what exactly is going on. But, yeah.
I'm Shannon. I'm your game master. don't want to step on D&D's toes, so avoid the other type of master. And I'll be playing Egenon, who is the levity-prone human mage, and he likes to test people. It's really what he's good at. He loves to test people. That's his favorite hobby. And we'll get started with a recap now. So, Valmaia has a separate recap for her coming along. But we have, from last time, Ock rescued Silcey and Egenon from what was called Pinner's Gulch, a canyon that started to flood, and they evaded the great Cythera that was swooping down from above the plain. It's a really haunting vulture-like bird, but 20 times as big as a vulture. They set out for Ock's camp, where they got to know Ock a little bit. Silcey and Egenon got to know Ock a little bit. They got acquainted and decided that they all have the same desire to go westward to Solaria. So they have just set out on that journey with the chilly morning of the 9th of Yolangir, which is in the autumn. So it is getting cooler. The days are still kind of warm, but there's definitely a chill in the morning, and you can start to smell it in the air that it is becoming autumn. It is about 7 bells or hours into 7 bells since the new day, since midnight. And that is where we're going to pick up as they are leaving Ock's encampment. Egenon is leading the way. And what are your rations like?
Ooh, let me check.
And Ock, what are your rations like?
Inventory? Yes. Do I have rations? Getting there. I have a pot.
So you've brought your pot. Not.
I remember making bread, so I'm sure I don't have anything in my equipment stashed right now, but I remember giving Egenon and Silcey some bread the night before. So
you do have some bread, which is the wheat is in Moel is red, so it is a bread that has a distinct red color. And I'm guessing, do you share that in the morning?
I do share a little bit, more with Silcey than Egenon, just because.
I have some fruit, so I will share that as well. I have some
bread,
some oranges, lemons, and apples.
Egenon walks over to you, Silcey, and he takes an apple from you. Thank you, kind sir. This will go great with this stale bread.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to share.
I'd be a little bit more grateful if I were you, Egenon.
Yours is mine. That's how they say it. Yeah. We following me, or are we getting on that beast of yours, Ock?
We'll follow you.
Are you going to be on the beast?
Not if I don't have to.
What should we call it? I mean, is it an animal? Is it a soulless creation?
I mean, you can ask him his name if you'd like.
That's it. I don't trust things without a soul.
All right. Well, then we'll leave it there.
Do you have anything else to eat besides this fruit? I mean, kind of hungry.
That and bread is all I've had.
I will handle it. I will find us something along the way. I'm sure we'll pass some sort of vagrant. Anyway, off we go. And Egenon begins to lead the way to Solaria. What's the order that you follow him in?
I'd imagine I'm leading up the back with my lock lion behind me.
I'm a little skeptical that he just implied that we're gonna eat a vagrant, so I'm following a little distantly behind him. But I'll I'll be in a second, I guess, in between them.
All right, everybody make perception checks as you are walking along. Or nature. Ock, take advantage.
Cool deal.
You know the land.
Very nice. A 23 for Ock.
Wonderful.
Hold on, my D&D just closed out randomly for some reason. My D&D Beyond.
Okay.
Well, and I know what I rolled, but I'm getting my.
Was it high or low?
It was low. 2 is what it is naturally.
That's what Egenon rolled too. So, Ock, you recognize that you are going east and not west. Immediately.
Okay. I'm not gonna say much, but I'm going to start heading west.
Okay. And Silcey, with a perception.
It's an 8 with nature.
Ooh. Still a fail.
Okay.
You do feel a little space behind you as y'all get going. Probably about a quarter of a mile. You start to get thick into the red wheat plains.
So, do I sense that that Ock is not
You
behind me
sense some
anymore?
space. You
Sense
don't.
some space.
You don't
Okay.
know if he's hanging back or what.
Okay.
Can I roll a stealth check?
Yeah.
Or so what I want to do is sneak up. So like going this way, and then if they're coming this way, I want to kind of sneak up around them and then kind of surprise them.
Okay.
Up front.
Take
Is that
advantage with that.
Stealth, I guess.
Take advantage. Just because you rolled so highly before, and it's your hometown.
All right, that is 16.
Taking their perception checks from a moment ago, yeah, you are able to accomplish this without anyone noticing a thing.
So I appear in front of them as they're walking, just with my arms crossed. And
Whoa! Silcey, come here.
Hey, where are you going?
Is this guy? You think he's related to the other guy that's with us? Hey, Ock. He looks back. He doesn't.
That's Ock, right?
It's me.
Yeah.
All these villagers look the same. I can't tell honestly.
All right, Silcey, I'm gonna be real with you right now. We aren't going west. This is east. I know where I'm at. This is not the right direction.
Why would we be going east?
Oh, ask your man.
I have a great sense of direction,
Seems like it.
and I don't know where the map is right now. Could have, left it at the university, but I'm pretty sure we're going west.
All right. Here's the deal. I'm gonna take the lead on this one if you don't mind.
By all means, sure.
All right, we're gonna start going west now. Sound good to you?
Great. Silcey, this was all a test. It was all a test.
What were you testing me or Ock?
Nope.
Ox starts walking.
Hey, I don't think you're supposed to say they all look alike.
But they do.
You guys coming?
Yeah, I'm coming. Wait up.
All
All right, so y'all managed to make your way through a few encampments. Do you want to interact with anybody in these encampments? Just like loners going through? They're not going to bother you. It's pretty early in the morning still, but you do see some people up and starting to be about their daily routines and duties.
I'd say Ock is definitely avoidant of a lot of interaction as far as villagers.
I still suspect that Egenon might be trying to cannibalize some of these, so I'm gonna just kind of stay far away.
Okay. With your 23 perception from just a moment ago, Ock, you do notice that the Cythera from yesterday that chased you has started to circle in the distance back east where you came from, but you have clocked it. There's any precautions you'd like to take before it catches on to where you are?
All right, let me see. I'm gonna take a look at my spells real quick.
Oh, what's that? Did it move us? You see it? Do y'all see this? Do you see the scenery? No?
No.
All sitting?
Yeah, we're all sitting. Do you see that? Who did that?
What?
That's
I have
actually
no
kinda
idea.
cool.
Are you looking at the screen?
For Skype?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
This
have
is
no idea
why.
what you guys are talking.
So everybody on the on the podcast will take my side on this, that I'm not going crazy. All right, I'm gonna send it to y'all now. I'm gonna send this picture of what I see. It just changed it randomly. Yeah, all the listeners or viewers can see that I am not going crazy. It just changed randomly to this. It should have just gone through.
Oh wow, that is.
Yeah. You see it?
Yes, now I do. It is just on my
Yeah, mine just shows like a desktop background kind of thing.
you got it on, Laura.
It is weird, right? I wasn't touching anything.
Huh. All right, well, I think Ak is going to hop on his lockline Zod, and motion towards the side silently,
Mhm.
and in hopes that the other two kind of notice the scythe kind of circling around, probably looking for us, is what he's assuming right now.
Okay.
I see it now.
I see it now too.
What?
Yeah.
I clicked stop sharing. What in the world is happening?
I like it.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. So Ak is on top of
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, so I'm on top of Zod, and then I'm like, hey,
gotcha.
there's something up there that was trying to eat us yesterday.
Okay. So Ak, where exactly are you again?
I mounted on Zod, and
Zod. Okay, sorry, I missed that with the screen.
he
the change.
Zod can carry the two of them, correct?
Zod could carry all three of you and probably a little more.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is gonna have Zod turn around and face the two of Silcey and.
I'm going to, how high is Zod to try to mount?
Pretty tall, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to jump.
4 or 5 feet.
I can like let down a rope. Hey,
Okay.
You guys might want to hop
down
on.
the rope. Silcey, if you want to make like an acrobatics check.
Yeah, I'm 3'7", so it might be a stretch. Let me try. All right.
Zod is very annoyed right now.
15.
15. Yeah, you're able to get up there.
Don't need no
I think I fixed the screen. Is it back? Back to normal? No.
Same.
Huh. Interesting.
Still sitting in a stone amphitheater in the woods, it looks like.
That is crazy. Laura is laughing at me. This is some boomer stuff, y'all, and I'm not a boomer.
I mean,
I'm just.
I love it personally.
Well, it's making everything really slow.
There's a changed scene up here. There's a changed scene.
Okay, you're fine for me now. I clicked on view, and then I clicked on grid view.
Oh.
because it had us in together mode, and together mode put us into
I see.
the stone seated area.
I got it. I'm out of together mode.
Yeah, so yeah, Laura, you have to click view and get out of together mode. She's crying. She's crying.
I'm good now.
Oh my God.
Get in there.
Hey, you know what? I got some stuff for you. All right. So here, let's get to Valmaia. So y'all be thinking about what y'all want to do on the back of Zod, okay? While that Cythera is circling. Mm-hmm. Let's find it. Okay. Be quiet. Don't make fun of me. Just stop. Stop making fun of me. Ah. Should be it. All right. So we have now cut over to Valmaia. Outside the university and the market and the lower districts, riots rage into the night. And they have been raging into the night each night for the past week. Valmaia, before this, you remember going below the university through these gates and down below the university, running into like this zombie troll like creature, but also there was some other monster below there too that started to chase you. Well, and the whole group. All right, you've all disappeared from me. Okay. Did they go away? Laura?
I think they're here. I think they're just they're just being quiet
Okay.
in the background.
Yes, we are in the background.
Okay. Well, it keeps. I forgot all this.
Believe in you, Shannon.
Okay, I will get it eventually. I know I will. Stupid Skype. If you want me to promote Skype, then let's get this fixed. So you remember this sort of creature?
Yes.
Chasing, and it ripped to pieces or destroyed, killed the zombie troll-like creature. And then you remember Egenon leading you to a teleportation circle, and Egenon whispered to you something. It's been a week now, but you do recall that he whispered that you would meet up, but to trust him, and he would come back for you. That was a week. That was a week ago, and you have been in the dark below the university, scared out of your mind because of some monster with various eyes was chasing you last. And it haunts your dreams, and it's kept you from getting really good sleep at night. And you often depending on where you wander below the university, you often can get close enough to the surface, or what seems to be the surface, where you hear those riots taking place at night. And you hear voices shouting, screaming against tyranny. You hear guards striking them down in the streets. And then there are other areas where you seem to be close to the surface, but it's just completely peaceful. But you don't get any peace because that monster still seems to be following you. Sometimes it seems to be closer, and then at other times you think you've lost it. And then the next day, it seems to be on your trail again. There are
How do
parts.
I know that? Am I just hearing it or am I seeing it also?
So you have not seen it, you've just heard. So just from the voices. Or just from, so you've heard voices above, but just from the noises. Sorry. You've tried communicating with your spirits, but they seem to either be one, ignoring you, or they have abandoned you at this time.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it's been a week, and you have just awoken from sleeping on the cold ground. You probably got maybe 30 minutes of accidental sleep, where you drifted off because you've been having to try and keep watch, but also try and rest in order to not go crazy. So, tell me, through all of that I've just shared with you, what is Valmaia experiencing? You are alone, and it is almost completely pitch black dark since you left the teleportation circle.
um, Given it's been about a week with basically no sleep,
You're a little
I
fuzzy.
think. Oh, can I make better?
Try it.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm gonna put it. See. Check, check.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. I think I'm probably starting to go a little bit crazy. Just in the sense of I'm sleep deprived. It's pitch black, so I imagine I'm probably seeing things that aren't even there. I'm feeling a bit abandoned and almost kind of betrayed, both by Egenon and also the spirits. Um, and I think at this point, I'm really questioning why I'm still even down there. Why am I not just getting out of there or doing what I can to get out of there?
So, you do start to question that, but you've come back to this circular reasoning because you are lost. But you
Right.
still start to think, why am I not getting out of here?
Yeah.
And that even starts to press in on you like, I've probably been around this place at least twice, at least by now. How have I not gotten back to those rooms where there were, some sort of procedures going on? How have I not heard people? Does no one else come down here? Is it just this monster? Those kind of questions are pressing in on you ever closer. So, under the chaos of the streets of Solaria, Valmaia, rather dirty and in need of a bath, which you have definitely taken note of several times, you are in what seems to be some sort of enclosed room. That's the only shelter you have been able to find in what has essentially been like one extremely wide open, huge hallway. A never-ending hallway. So just before you had fallen asleep, you ate a little bit of your rations, and you are down to one more day's worth of rations. So you have some moldy bread and some jerky, some meat jerky that you picked up from one of the stands out in the market earlier earlier last week.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the morning, or what you think is the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and you are getting pretty hungry, but you have to save whatever food you can. And what's kind of been keeping you going is, in what little sleep that you have gotten, you've been dreaming about becoming a wizard under the apprenticeship of Illyria. And that's kind of pushed you forward.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm getting to the point with rations being low that I'm pretty much willing to take the risk of getting some light going so I can see and try to actually find a way out.
Okay, so what are you going to be trying to do for light?
I do have a torch in my inventory. The issue is I'm gonna have to find something to make a fire for it.
That has been the issue.
Right. So let's see. I have a wooden stake. So I might I also have some oil, a flask of oil.
Okay.
So I might end up breaking the wooden stake and potentially getting some friction with that to make a fire.
Okay. So you'll need to give me either a nature check, a performance check, survival check, one of the above.
Okay. We got a 12 for nature.
Okay. So it is damp down here, and you think after like an hour straight, and your arms are exhausted and burning, that maybe you see a little smoke, but due to exhaustion, you pause your attempts. And if there's nothing else you want to try, I can let you rest for a moment.
I might have some other things up my sleeve, but I think resting would be a good idea because I don't want to use something and then keep having to move while I'm already exhausted.
Okay. And just to let you know, if you were to push forward, push on through that exhaustion, it would eventually cost you an exhaustion point. Which, if you lose enough of those, you end up dead.
Right.
So, and you would know before, I would warn you. But
Right.
keep that in mind. If you do push yourself, that could happen. So, you, in the silence, you don't hear any rustling, and you are starting to quickly become attuned to it. At least this dungeon-like area. Dreams envelop you. And you start dreaming of a former lover. And then intensely you start stabbing this lover in the chest with a dagger. And then you see yourself kind of like in third person. You're like, no, I would never do that. I'd never do that. Would I? Would I do that? And even in this dream, you're questioning what actually happened, what was real. Was it a memory? Or is it just some sort of twisted nightmare? And then your dreams turn to reuniting with Silcey and Karis, Egenon even. Then you get some bad feelings toward Egenon. But then also Orgel. And then you remember that Orgel is no longer with you. And he died that night of the tournament. And that's when your dreams start to turn sour. You see Skullface murdering Orgel. And even though Orgel strikes a mortal blow himself, your heart sinks because you know that Orgel really is gone and that this dream is also some sort of twisted memory. And then thoughts begin to swirl and take the shape of wild, frantic images that paint your subconscious. Why hasn't Egenon come back? Flash, like a lightning strike, navy blue lights up your dream. And there's that mysterious human wizard who pulls his cowl back, the blue cloak draped around him. And he looks directly at you in this dream. He says, soon, survive. But then there is a black lightning strike, and that same wizard, his face distorts into something vicious with long, sharp teeth and multiple eyes start to pop up around this face, and it turns into a bulbous head, and you hear, I will find you and your human wizard, and you will both die at my hands. And then a lightning strikes, flash of crimson, and a pool of blood crashes in waves down upon you. And you see Orgel standing and trying to block this wave of blood, and he gets swallowed up in it. And you see him start to drift out on this blood as the crimson blood turns into an ocean made of salt tears. And then a lightning flash. And a cacophony builds in your ears. And there's a swirl of silver, pulsing magenta and orange, yellow, blue, purple, forming into streaking cobbled stones and into a road of violent color, stretching out into the depths of the catacombs as if you're flying through space and time on this rainbow of lightning color. And then you, in a flash, ride this lightning rainbow up through the skies and into the depths of the vast sea of stars. And you push through the stars and you see Professor Dharüm. And his green skin, his third eye wide open. He looks down upon you, and Silcey is beside him. And it's as if his eyes haven't met yours yet, but it's as if he's turning his head away from Silcey, and Silcey is walking towards a distant, beautiful celestial city. And Professor Dharüm turns to you quickly, but Silcey is moving in very slow motion, like molasses, barely taking a step. And Professor Dharüm tilts his head and he says, "Rest, my child." And then you drift into dreamless sleep as you see Silcey walking and approaching this celestial city, now in a full sprint going toward it. And your last image before you fall into this dreamless sleep is an array of angelic figures, taller than giants, who have their arms stretched. One is open with an open hand, and the other has a magnificent gleaming sword. It's as if they're singing in a language that you can't quite comprehend. And you drift off to sleep. So as you're processing all that,
That was wild.
we're going to shift back to Ock and Silcey and Egenon. As Valmaia, you try to make sense of what has just happened in your dreams, and as you are beginning to come to consciousness and wake up again. So, Ock and Silcey, you have now passed these encampments, and you are you're past the plains now even, and you're starting to get into some hills. And the trek is getting more tiresome, and it is now evening of the 9th of Yolangir. What would you like to do?
Have we gone? I mean, I feel like Ock is probably pretty familiar with the landscape still. I know he hasn't gone far as adventuring out and everything like that. But my bad if you guys can hear my dog barking. She's going crazy right now.
Zod is begging for your attention.
So I'm going to. I'd say that Ock is going to start looking for places to make camp, whether that's a cave or somewhere that's like a strategic area that's like overlooking something. A very defensive kind of location is what Ock is looking for.
So you see that there is, you're cresting one of those hills right now, and you see that there is a deep valley coming up, and there are now what was scattered little copses of trees. Below in this valley is what seems to be a forest, and the next hill is getting steeper and bigger, and You can even see, almost looking up into the sky, as you crest this hill with Zod, Egenon, and Silcey, you see a vast mountain range that extends as far as you can see to the north and as far as you can see to the south. And it is cutting off your path westward.
So cutting off our path westward, we'd have to crest over the mountain to keep going, I guess, straight.
You have never gone far enough west to know.
I see.
Okay. You have gone east pretty far, but you've never gone far enough west. You've heard stories about giants in these mountains and weird humanoid dragon creatures that don't like to treat with other races, and they're pretty isolationist. But that's as much as you can recall about this area.
Okay. So definitely starting to look. You said it was becoming darker and darker by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely starting to look for a camp. So I can roll if you'd like.
Yeah.
What would that be? A nature or an investigation, maybe?
Nature or investigation, either one. Silcey?
That is. I've got a -1 to both, so that's a 16. Rolled a natural 17.
Okay, so Ak, you think your best choice would be to make a fireless camp at the top of this hill.
That's what I start to do, guys. I turn to Egenon and Silcey and hey guys, we should probably lay low. There's some stories about giants and dragon folk that don't really deal with newcomers in the best way. So let's go without a fire tonight. And why don't we just camp up on the top of this hill?
Okay. Is that good with you, Egenon?
Not afraid of a few giants, are ya?
Yeah, I am. You know.
I mean, well, they could probably kill us, but do not be afraid. I am with you. I will protect you.
Okay.
Ak, why do you laugh?
So you can have first watch then, Egenon?
Son of yes, I suppose. I will take the first watch. I will nobly take the first watch. Redirect it. As the strongest of the group, I volunteer for the first watch.
Right. Zod kind of chuffs.
Okay, so as Egenon is trying to conjure up some sort of sofa-like furniture for his watch, you see him racking through his mind, and he actually reaches into a bag that he has with him and gets out a spell book and is like, furniture. Where is that chapter on furniture? Silcey, is there anything you would like to do getting ready for the evening? As Ak, I'm guessing, is setting up camp.
I do want to take a look around and try to find any sort of plants that I may be able to like gathered together that are soft enough for me to lay down on, so I'm not sleeping on hard rock and all of that. I do have a
You're
little
druid,
bit of a what?
You're druid.
No, cleric.
Cleric. Oh, that's right. As a cleric, you would be familiar with a lot of plants. If you were a druid, like your other dwarf, I would
Right.
say that you could take advantage there. But this probably be a straight roll. No negatives to that.
Is it a nature check?
Nature. Yeah, if you wanted to commune with Myliki, you could try. See if she has any guidance for you.
22.
Yeah. You're able to find all sorts of plants. And even some that are not poisonous.
Hey.
Good. Yeah. And there is one you have started, you're going down the hill and you kind of start to venture into the edge of this forest, and you find a tree that sticks out to you, and it has a lighter trunk than the bark that you're used to seeing in where you're from, but also in Solaria. And it has blue leaves, and there is a weird little fruit that is shaped kind of like a squash that is growing on the branches of this tree, but it is so you have the blue leaves, and it is a violet fruit.
And edible? Do I need to do another roll for that?
You recognize it, and so
Okay.
that's why I'm pointing it out to you. But make a you could make a nature check with advantage, or let's see.
Edible, medicinal properties. What do I know about this thing is what I'm trying to find out.
So yeah, nature would work. You could do a medicine check
Okay.
or intelligence.
All right, I'm gonna do nature check. Oh god. 10. It was a natural 4, but I'm +6 nature, so.
You don't remember if it's edible, but you do recall where you saw it.
Okay.
You saw it in the Feywild.
Yeah, I'm getting this thing and biting into it.
So
As I'm laying down in the plants that I've gathered, just laying back and biting into this thing.
Right where you are at the edge of this forest?
Yeah.
All right. So, you come back, actually.
Okay.
Ak, is there anything else you want to do for the evening?
I'm actually gonna go up to Egenon. I see him reading through his spell book.
Yeah.
And I ask him, "Hey, what are you reading? What are you looking for?"
It's just a spell book that I got from the university as the Archmage. Does that impress you?
Not, I don't really know what that is.
It is Ptolemy's spell book. It's in Elvish. Would you like to read it?
1 second. Let me go to my features. Do not have.
Elvish is a different language. The elves speak it. Have you met an elf?
What are elves?
Well, They are a wise race, and kind of pretentious, but pretty intelligent on the whole. You don't read Elvish, though.
Are you part elf then?
Who wants to know? You want to know? Or is somebody asked? Who asked you?
I'm the one asking.
Inquired.
I just want to know about your book.
He's actually going to make an insight check. I don't trust you, Ak.
I mean, I've gotten us this far, and you were going east.
West, yeah, that's west. West is like I've heard some tribes say west, but it is west. Yeah, we're going west.
Now we are, yes.
We're going west, yeah. So
we were going east, and that was me that kind of stepped.
We arrived in the east, but now we're going west. Yeah.
Does that spell book have any spells about making a tent or camouflaging our encampment?
I do have, and he starts to finger a ring on his index finger. But that's for emergencies. This is not an emergency yet. It's not going to be an emergency at all.
Whatever it is, I would just keep it handy. I'm not really familiar with the mountains, and I've heard a lot of bad stories.
I've heard one bad story. One.
Right.
The other one was a good one. So that's two.
What was the good one?
Good one was about a little dwarf who survived an encounter with a great ogre. And they ended up becoming friends. There's another story where a giant eats a human, but that's a different story.
All right, well.
Never judge a book by its cover. Like this one. Elvish.
Cool. Well.
So that went about as you expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So are you settling in for the night?
Yeah.
Okay. For about another hour, as you are starting to fall asleep, you see that he is still searching through his different books. He'll take another one out and look through it, and he puts it back. He curses to himself. He's having no luck conjuring up any furniture. But as far as you can tell, he is looking up occasionally and keeping some sort of watch. So, I mean, so you drift off to sleep. Silcey, you take a big bite of this juicy purple fruit, and it is all over you. Do you have a beard, Silcey? You have a reddish beard.
Red
right?
beard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, red beard. So, yeah, it is. The juice is flowing down your beard, and it is delicious. It's kind of like a mix between a grape and a strawberry. And it just hits the spot. You devour that whole thing. You go and do you reach for another one?
Yeah, let's do it.
You reach for another one. And by the time you're almost finished with the second one, that's when everything in your line of sight and your periphery just starts to collapse in and vibrate in front of you. And you realize that you might have made a mistake. And that you're tripping balls.
Oh.
You're sitting down, luckily, because you don't think you can stand up. You could try, but you don't think you can.
Oh, okay. How far am I away from the camp?
You can try to make some sort of check.
Okay. I am going to make.
It's going to take a check. It would normally not take a check, but it's going to take one.
Perception?
Sure.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
I was
It was going to be a 19, but it's a 12.
12. So you don't know the exact distance, but it's just back up the hill. That's what you tell yourself. Just back up the hill. It's at the top of the hill.
All right. Since I don't feel like I can stand, I'm going to try to kind of crawl up the hill.
So your vision has collapsed and is, vibrating in front of you. So you're very dizzy now. As you move, you start to feel a little nauseous, but when you stop moving for a second to try and ease that nausea, that's when a wave of just pure elation and pleasure hits your brain. And every muscle just kind of relaxes. What would you like to do?
I'm going to turn around and try to go back and put some of these fruits in my sack.
You could try to turn around.
I'm going to do that, yes. Yeah. Now that I'm feeling this, yeah, I'm going to.
It's going to take a roll.
Okay. Constitution.
You can't get up. So it's going to take a roll. Ooh. You can do a strength.
Okay.
Constitution check.
It's gonna be +1 either way. Okay. Hey, dirty 20.
So you are like, okay, man, feels good. If I just use all my brain, I can get up. And you do. You manage to get up. And you walk over to that tree. And then you turn around and you see yourself sitting down. And you start to get woozy. And then you're back sitting down. You don't know how you got there. And you have 6 of these fruit in your hands.
Okay.
You don't know how.
I'm not questioning that. I'm going to try to put them in my bag.
You have successfully stuffed them in your bag.
Okay. Now I'm going to try to get back to camp.
And that's when you pass out.
Okay.
All right. Back to Valmaia. Valmaia, you wake up from this dream. You are pouring sweat, and you think you've stopped sweating, and that it has started to dry because you are getting very cold. You can tell me how you feel. Oh, I can't hear you. What happened to your sound? Maybe take it out, put it back in. No. Not muted. Yeah. Say something. No.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Thought I
I
heard.
switched it from my AirPods for a little bit.
Okay.
So, okay. So I don't know if I trust my dream or not is the thing. Like, as far as Egenon saying soon, and then it morphing into what sounds like the thing that I'm trying to avoid right now.
Mm.
But he made it sound like he was coming, like, within the next day or two. I still have food for a day. So I think I am going to try to hold off just one more day. And then if nothing changes, we're going to start making moves.
All right. Okay.
I got
So-
a few things up my sleeve.
Gotcha. So do you want to try and continue to search for an exit, or do you want to
Yeah, I mean, just pretty much the same
dark?
thing I've been doing is fine.
In the dark, or do you want to try and get that torch again?
I think let's stay in the dark for now.
Okay. So do you have any sort of dark vision?
I do, 60 feet. Grayscale.
So you see 60 feet out in front of you that this hallway just continues on. You haven't reached any sort of opening or door or anything that veers off. You've been going straight for a while now. And you continue on, and that's when all of a sudden you get a gust of air coming towards you.
Mhm.
You want to keep going straight?
Yes.
All right. So you do, and in about that, you keep going, and you get this air coming in, and it smells kind of stale. You don't trust that it's outside.
Yeah.
And 60 feet in front of you is when you see the beginning of some sort of bridge. There are large stone plates in the floor, and there is a rail on either side.
Let's do it.
So, you step out, you walk 60 feet, and you step out onto this stone tablet on the floor,
Mhm.
and you think it moves, but you can't be sure. Maybe that was in your head. It's everything's starting to come like a dream. You're becoming delirious.
Really bad timing.
You want to keep going. You put a hand on each side, and you can just barely reach the other side's rail. Do you want to keep going?
I shouldn't, but I feel like my character would. So
Fair enough.
keep moving.
So there seems to be some sort of wind as you are walking out onto this bridge. And you look up, and as far as you can see above, for 60 feet, there doesn't seem to be a ceiling. And you look, you don't move over to the edge, but you do peer out of your periphery. And as far as you can see down, there doesn't seem to be any floor. So for 60
Good.
feet, there's at least a 60-foot drop. Do you want to take anything out and test this, or?
It's not a bad idea.
Sure.
Let's see what I got. I think I'm just going to. I'm trying to decide because I have a crowbar where I could hear it whenever it did hit.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna. It's unfortunate to part with that because I'm sure I'm gonna need it in the future when I don't have. Let's try it. Let's throw a crowbar and
Right.
see how long it takes.
So, do you throw it out there, or you just drop it?
Let's just drop it to see how far I would fall.
Okay. So you lean a little bit out to the right, and you drop this crowbar.
Mhm.
You
I'm
feel
also
it.
like counting how many seconds until I hear it.
Okay. Nothing.
Sweet.
Nothing. 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 Nothing.
I'm in danger.
And it starts to echo up, and you hear ting, 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 ting. Takes a moment to get to you, where you think your crowbar finally hit something.
We know there's a floor, fellas. Okay. What are the odds of me actually taking a little tumble though? Like,
It's a stone floor,
mhm.
and as you're leaning and looking down for 60 feet below the stone floor, it seems to be connected to the side where you just came from, and it's connected all the way for 60 feet straight down. You're not sure how far it goes connected, but this stone is attached to a wall.
It all looks stable
You think so? I mean,
just from looking.
just from looking, it looks stable.
Right. I mean, I feel like if it looks okay, I would continue onward.
Okay.
See if we can find the end to this thing.
All right, you continue on for about 100 feet, and then you think you hear something. Make a perception check.
Alrighty. $13.
Yeah, you definitely hear something.
Okay.
And it sounds like it's behind you, but also below you, maybe coming up from below you. It almost sounds like metal scraping against rock.
Hmm.
And you hear it skittering.
Don't like that.
And it sounds like there are multiples of this. whatever it is skittering what seems to be all around you. And then behind you, you hear it. What do you want to do? The skittering everywhere else hasn't stopped either. But there's definitely skittering on the stone behind you.
I can't see anything. Like, it's not within 60 feet, right?
You haven't turned around yet. Nothing's 60 feet in front of you.
Can I turn around?
I didn't know if you wanted to turn around.
Yeah, I think I'd like to know.
Yeah. So behind you is a 4-foot tall. It's some sort of creature, and it has long, scaly, bony legs, like almost like the exoskeleton of maybe the carapace of some sort of insect creature, but also the bones of a humanoid, but they're on the outside. And as it skitters better into your view, about 60 feet away, it is a huge, like a 4-foot tall, 3.5, 4-foot long stone bone spider. You see it skitter to one side and then skitter back to the other, and it's getting closer to you.
Nope.
And that's when you hear it. And it's when you hear others skittering up. And you look up and you see descending from webs stone and bone spiders coming down upon you. That's where we're going to pause with you.
Oh my god.
And back to Auk and Silcey. Auk, you wake up the next morning with the sunrise. It was a nice night. No one ever woke you for your shift. Look over, Egenon is asleep with a tome covering his face, if he passed out. And in between his snoring, you can hear him mumbling something. At first, you thought it was something about furniture, but then you hear a name. Valmaia. Dharüm. And you try to catch, but it's not a full sentence. You hear Valmaia, Dharüm, deal. Fey. But that's it. The snoring commences. Silcey. You wake up and you look around, and there are trees all around you. And you look behind you, where you think you came from, more and more trees.
I'm in danger.
And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Ah. I'm lost.
Silcey.
Yeah.
Lost and stoned.
What is Valmaia gonna do? Is my question.
Woo.
Oh my
Might
god.
become like a spider queen or something.
Or Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In the cave.
Sister spider.
I
My
said
spider
Spider-Man.
senses are tingling.
Spider bait.
I don't know. I would if I were personally in that situation, I would jump. I am not.
Take
not
my chances.
Yes.
I'm not. Not a big spider guy either.
No.
You don't say.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed our little tale, and we will continue it soon. But thank you, and join us next time for more Rust and Ruin.
Goodbye.
Bye.